Meet Prince Mohammed bin Salman Al Saud, a name that echoes in the corridors of power and luxury. Born in the opulent embrace of Saudi Arabia royalty, his life is a tale of wealth, influence, and controversy. From ascending the ladder of power to indulging in extravagant purchases that only dreams are made of, Prince Mohammed's journey is one that captivates the imagination. Join me as we take a look into the life of this modern-day prince, exploring his remarkable rise, his lavish lifestyle, and the intrigue that surrounds him. Prince Mohammed bin Salman, MBS, was the crown prince of Saudi Arabia and designated heir of the throne. His father, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, was the reigning monarch at the time. The timing of MBS becoming king would depend on various factors, including the health and decisions of the current king and the royal family's internal dynamics. But here's the thing, MBS is quite the controversial guy. People all around the world have different opinions about him. Some people aren't happy because he lives a really extravagant life, and there have been some serious accusations against him. Back in 2018, there was a big fuss because of a man named Jamal Khashoggi. He was connected to the prince, and some people believe that the prince might have been involved in his murder. Even the CIA, which is like a super smart spy agency, said they think the prince might have ordered the killing. Back in January, there was this accusation that he hacked the personal phone of the boss of Amazon, Jeff Bezos. But the people from Saudi Arabia said that idea was just crazy and not proven. Even with all the arguments about him, Prince Salman really knows how to have fun. He's famous for spending a lot of money in fancy ways. People say he buys things without thinking too much and sometimes even gets more than one of the same thing. Maybe he doesn't even use all the stuff he gets, but he really likes getting expensive presents. He has things like a super expensive yacht that's worth $500 million, a painting by Leonardo da Vinci that's worth $450 million, and a super fancy house in France that's worth $300 million. The Saudi royal family is really big, with around 15,000 members, and their money adds up to an unbelievable $1.4 trillion. Guess what? Prince Salman has a big chunk of that $1.4 trillion, which makes him super rich among all the royals in Saudi Arabia. Prince Mohammed bin Salman got one of the most expensive educations in the whole world. It makes sense for a royal family member to have lots of money spent on their schooling, so his parents made sure he went to the best schools in the whole country. He got a degree in law from King Saud University, which is one of the oldest schools in Saudi Arabia, and after he finished studying, he worked for really important government groups before becoming a special helper to his dad in 2009. Oh, by the way, Prince Mohammed's father became the crown prince after A.F. bin Abdulaziz Al Saud passed away in 2012. Since then, the prince's family has gathered up lots of money and many different valuable things. Prince Mohammed bin Salman is also the big boss of Saudi Aramco. This is a super huge government-owned oil company. When it started selling its shares to the public in December 2019, it became the most valuable company on the whole planet. This enormous oil company reached a really big value of $2 trillion after going public in December 2019. The people in charge in Saudi Arabia wanted this company to be worth $2 trillion, but most banks thought it would be worth less when it was first guessed. But guess what? In the first 9 months of 2019, Aramco made a bunch of money, $68 billion. This made it the company that made the most money in the whole world at the time. And you know what's even more interesting? When Prince Mohammed becomes the king, he'll get most of the company's shares. This means that he'll be the richest guy in the whole country. As mentioned by the New York Times, you'll often find Prince Mohammed and his dad hanging out in fancy palaces, and one of the palaces the prince has is the Al Yamama Palace. It's really a pretty place that he only uses for hosting important guests and politicians from other countries. Another palace he owns is the Urga Palace, which is built fancy in marble and even has parts made of real gold, whole pieces of furniture. When President Obama visited this luxurious palace, some reporters noticed the gold-covered Kleenex dispensers and gold chairs all over the big living rooms and meeting spaces outside. People say the prince and his family have a few more grand houses around the world, like Switzerland, London, France, and Monaco. Being a prince and having loads of money can be a big responsibility, but Prince Mohammed bin Salman enjoys using his money to buy really special and unique things from all over the world. In his royal family, he's known for buying things in a big way. It might not be surprising for a man in his position, but this prince has spent a ton of money on things like super fancy boats, his very own private set of helicopters, beautiful French mansions, and really rare paintings. He even treats himself to expensive clothes made with gold threads and wears rings with valuable gems. You know what else he likes? Eating at really fancy places all over the world. He has quite a special taste when it comes for food. For his meals, his cooking team brings ingredients from all over the world every single day. Just think about having breakfast from France delivered to you in the morning. Well, Prince Mohammed bin Salman can do that because he's got the money for it. They say the crown prince has a massive yacht named Serene that's worth $500 million, and it's about 440 feet long. This yacht is one of his top favorites from his big collection of fancy yachts that he's been taking care of for 10 years. The yacht named Serene has many cool things like more than one swimming pool and hot tub, 2 spots for helicopters to land, and places to store a helicopter, a gym, and even a movie theater. Yeah, you heard that right. There's a movie theater on the yacht where about 20 to 30 people can watch movies together, so it's an awesome place for having parties or quiet escapes. Also, this yacht can hold 24 guests in 15 different rooms, which is just right for the prince and his pals. It's said that the prince bought this super yacht after seeing it while he was on vacation in the south of France. Just like his other buys, this was a sudden decision too. The prince wanted to add another super yacht to his collection that year. He also bought a fancy castle in France for $300 million. Did you know that this castle was called the world's most expensive home by Fortune magazine back then? It truly was a house fit for a king. But the interesting part is that the prince chose to keep this by hush-hush for a while. It wasn't until 2017 that people have found out that he'd gotten himself the Chateau Louis XIV, which is on the western side of Paris. It's a bit of a mystery why the prince wanted to keep it under wraps. Maybe he didn't want his family to know, or perhaps he wanted to keep it quiet so people around there wouldn't pay too much attention. Anyway, he did a good job keeping his chateau secret until a reporter spilled the beans to everyone. The chateau was apparently constructed in the 1600s. It has things like fountains, a sound system, lights, and air conditioning. The cool part is that all this can be managed using just one iPhone. The reason for the setup is that the prince likes tech that's both super fancy and really simple to operate. Prince Mohammed bin Salman is the driving force behind the ambitious NEOM Project, a futuristic city planned in Saudi Arabia. It's about building a super advanced city in the northwest of Saudi Arabia, close to Egypt and Jordan. This city will be super high-tech and futuristic. They want it to be a center for new ideas, businesses, and eco-friendly living. The name NEOM comes from combining the words that mean new and future in Greek and Arabic. MBS is known to wear designer clothing from high-end fashion houses. This includes tailored suits, custom-made shirts, and designer shoes. He might also possess luxury accessories like expensive watches, cufflinks, and designer belts. He's been seen in various high-end vehicles, including models from brands like Rolls-Royce, Bentley, and Lamborghini. These cars often come with top-of-the-line features, luxurious interiors, and powerful engines. What's your take on Mohammed bin Salman's extravagant way of living? Comment down below and we'll talk about that. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an upload. See you in our next video.